New CoffeeZilla? Wait, for real? Oh, Argentina's meme coin disaster. So speaking of crazy presidential decisions, we talked about Trump coin. I've talked about Malay's Libra coin, but I don't know too much of how it came to be. CoffeeZilla may. Let's find out.
Argentina launched a meme coin through their president Javier Milei, or at least that's what people thought. Now there are currently accusations of scams, insider trading, and the president of Argentina may be charged with fraud and faces possible impeachment. I'm here to break down what happened because I got insider access to the real story. I even got offered control of the missing $100 million plus that was made in ill-gotten gains. Welcome back to the $10 million studio.
You got
the story
control
starts on
of it?
February 14th, 2025. Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, tweeted about a meme coin called Libra. The details at first were sparse. Quote, liberal Argentina grows. This private project will focus on encouraging growth of the Argentine economy, funding small businesses and Argentine adventures. The world wants to invest in Argentina. And it linked to a website which called it a token with purpose,
Wow.
where 50% of the tokens were allocated to Argentina growth. And I'll admit, it sounds nice. However, as the price skyrocketed to billions of dollars in market cap, people got worried because there appeared to be insider trading. And that's when Javier Milei suddenly deleted his tweet, saying he, quote, obviously has no connection with the project, and, quote, I was not aware of the details of the project. Understandably, the price crashed after this, but in the rubble, people discovered that the team responsible for launching the token may have walked away with over $100 million being taken out of the liquidity pool, meaning they may have gotten rich while everyone else got rugged. It was about this time I began to investigate, and I got an anonymous phone call from someone who claimed to know where this all started, Tech Forum Argentina, which was an event where you could pay as a blockchain company to be a sponsor. According to a source who was there and paid for it, part of it included a meet and greet with Javier Milei, the president of Argentina. This person was excited, but disappointed to find out that once they got there, they were invited to sign an even more expensive contract where two of the guys who ran the event, Mauricio Novelli and Manuel Godoy, were going to basically advise you on how to have blockchain technology in Argentina. Basically, they got you access to Milei. The person I spoke to did not pay for it. Someone who did was Kip Protocol. And the strategic partner of Tech Forum in 2025 is Kelsier. Both of those companies are going to be extremely important, and the people who run them are called Julian Pei and Hayden Davis.
I need to host like an Atrioc con, and you can sponsor it. And if you do like the special coffee cow tier, then I'll come and bring you a cup of Joe or something. Is there money in this?
Pretty soon, a plan was hatched between Mauricio Manuel from Tech Forum Argentina and Julian and Hayden to launch a project together. It was going to be called Libra and support the Argentinian economy. And President Milei agreed to tweet about it. The division of labor was basically that Mauricio and Manuel were the connection, it seems, Hayden was handling the launch of the token, and Julian was going to set up a company to distribute the funds to Argentinian businesses. Of course, they never got that far because 24 hours after the launch of this coin, the president of Argentina was being called a scammer, and I got a message on my phone that I didn't expect. Hi, CoffeeZilla. I'd like to talk with you about the Milei launch. I was heavily responsible for it. The initials of the person were HD. I'm guessing Hayden Davis, but I couldn't be sure. So I asked for a selfie to confirm his identity, and I did cross-reference it with his photo with Milei, where Milei said he was a...
What is this fucking duck face? What is his face Milei is doing? Is he mewing, or that's his pose? Chin down, sour candy mouth, eyes open, looking up?
It was indeed the same person who launched the coin. Hayden explained that he'd like to execute a plan.
It's like Blue Steel.
He said Milei and his team basically botched it, and quote, I'd like to sit down and make sure all the money that they took out gets back into people's hands correctly, every dollar. Let me know if you'd like to interview and discuss in person. Now, I was confused why he needed me in person exactly, and he explained, I'm happy to go live on an interview pending we chat beforehand. I'll even show you all the wallets pumped back into the chart live if you want. He had over $100 million in what he called multi-sigs, which require 2 or more people to sign on every transaction. I asked, well, who else is a signer? And he replied, quote, just me. He said, I want to do it alongside you. All I care about is knowing it's in safe hands. I don't mind turning the keys over or adding you to the multi-sigs.
Dude, imagine CoffeeZilla gets access to $100 million in crypto and breaks bad. All the fucking talk goes out the window. You just Insta-Rugs shuts down the channel, moves to fucking Bali. The long con.
He wants to hand over his $100 million problem into my control. And I was thinking to myself, of course, hell no. You're not going to pass me your nightmare. Of course, I did say that we should talk because I had seen his recent public response and it didn't really go so well. In it, Hayden put forth his plan, where instead of trying to refund people with the $100 million he had a different idea.
What happened with Libra, I think there's many things I could say. There's only certain elements that I could control the launch. Definitely things didn't go according to plan, but I think addressing the elephant in the room, which is in the next 24, 48 hours, and unless somebody has a better idea, any funds that I've been able to get back in my possession from all the parties involved, I intend to put right back into the chart and either burn or lock on the liquidity side.
Right. He wants to put the money back into Libra, but this kind of creates the same problems where it's like, okay, well, this just benefits insiders and people who have tons of the token. But after watching this, I was also concerned with a different problem. See, myself and the research firm Bubble Maps had been doing a lot of work tracking Melania coin for a while. Yes, the US president's wife.
Yeah.
She had launched a coin, and we were
That's a real
concerned that
investment.
the same wallet which launched that seemed to have also launched Libra.
What?
Even worse, they had both been sniped by the same person who created the tokens, or the same network of wallets. Now, if you don't know what sniping is, it's where you buy a coin earlier than anyone else at cheaper prices. Usually, you know something in advance. And not only did these connected wallets buy Melania and Libra coins early, they also sold those coins early for millions in profits.
Right.
So now, not only was I being offered control of $100+ million from the guy who launched Argentina's coin, apparently he also launched Melania Trump's coin, possibly sniped those coins, and also sold them for millions of dollars. But, you know, I realized it's not enough to just have blockchain evidence. There's only one way to really know for sure. I'd have to confront Hayden directly.
I need to know more about this Hayden guy. How the f does he have access to Melania Trump and Javier Milei? I also thought Clint Stevens published these coins. I thought Clint Stevens was the one behind all these. So I'm trying, what is the connection to Clint?
But if you launch the coin, isn't it unfair for you to snipe the coin?
So I would say no. And I would say that for a couple different reasons.
Yep, I was wrong. He did agree to get on a call for an hour where he admitted to sniping Libra token and Melania token, later saying, though, it wasn't him directly, it may have been someone else on his team.
Most of the time when we're sniping, we're attempting to avoid other snipers getting in. Right? So whether that's, and by the way, I don't conduct snipes.
However, I then got an interview with another insider in these coins
you're a
who
hero.
says that Hayden does snipe tokens personally. How does he know? Well, he claims he's seen it before. He was in the room with Hayden when it happened on another project called Enron Token, which
He's
you might not be surprised to realize.
Just introduce yourself real quick for everyone who doesn't know you.
I'm the founder of DeFi Tuna. We're just providing leverage for liquidity providers. That's pretty much us.
God, when you're a child and you're thinking about what you want to do when you grow up, isn't every child's dream to grow up and provide leverage for liquidity providers? Isn't that everyone's fucking dream?
I come in, there's this hookah bar where everyone's smoking hookah. And I see on the far end, there's a bodyguard and their whole family sitting down, Gideon, Hayden, across is Dr. Tom.
He is bald to the bone.
And his sons. And they're all about to launch Enron. They have like 10 minutes before the launch, they all have snipers ready with a contract address on the snipers. Sniper bots. They're like all waiting. They're all, smoke coming out of their ears. They're all smoking like crazy on caffeine. The token launches and everyone's pressing. And the wonderful thing was this. I'm looking at it. And they're like, oh, somebody got just before us. And, and everyone's just arguing between each other. But, they all still got earlier and they're still in a plus. And they're like, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's like a junkie house.
This interview was crazy. And remember, the guy we're talking about, this junkie house, is also the person who launched the president's wife's meme coin and then the Argentina's president's meme coin. It's insane.
They were saying everything's legal, everything is good as long as nothing can be tracked.
That's a rough sign. Everything we're doing is legal as long as no one can track it. It's actually super legal for me to kill this guy as long as I hide the body so no one finds it.
So, I did ask Hayden about profiting from Melania token, and here's where we had a bit of a confusion on what exactly we meant by, did you swap it? Did you sell it? I didn't swap it. I just sold it.
Okay, so y'all swapped. You didn't sell, or the other way around.
No, other way around. Other way around.
Sold, you didn't swap.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. 2 independent pieces of evidence from people who were on the inside of the Melania token, saying that Hayden and his team sniped tokens and wanted to dump for high profit secretly, while Hayden himself does admit that they, sold, they just didn't swap. And I do personally believe a lot of this is probably illegal. Whether it will be prosecuted, though, by our gutted regulators is another matter entirely.
Great point.
Right now, we seem to be in a race in America to deregulate cryptocurrency.
That's what I'm saying, dude. All this stuff would be straight up illegal in like a different, like on an individual level in a SEC that is funded and able to check out this stuff. All this stuff would be illegal and prosecuted. It's like textbook pump and dump. Just because with crypto doesn't make it suddenly legal, but we're so beyond enforcement. There's so many of them happening, and the regulators are so underfunded that it's just getting ignored. It's a total grift era.
I just want to point out how Trump has made crypto even more of a Wild West since taking office. In April, he disbanded the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, which was established under Biden. Also, his administration has dismissed multiple lawsuits against major players in the space, including a recent one involving Binance. But maybe the biggest shift is the SEC's hands-off approach to meme coins, which has already cost investors millions.
For now, I just want to show people that these meme coins are deeply rigged financial vehicles for screwing regular people and transferring wealth to the top, to the insiders, and people like Hayden, they're everywhere in this industry. I should also mention, while I'm on the subject, by the way, that it's not only always the people themselves, it's also the platforms that sometimes are part of this. Platforms that launch meme coins obviously benefit from trading volume instead of price, meaning even if you lose, they make tons of money. And it's been a suspicion of a lot of people that some of them may play a role in some of these insider launches. Today, though, we got a little bit of evidence. In my investigations, one platform kept coming up, Meteora. They launched Trump Coin, Melania Coin, Libra, and many others on their platform.
Okay.
And they were crucial to giving Hayden Davis tons of business through his company, Kelsier. Meteora's CEO, Ben Chow, describes it as, "I do know the Kelsier team well."
Does this video cover like how these introductions were made? He sort of covered how this guy Hayden met Javier Milei, which is at an Argentinian tech conference where he paid big bucks to access. But how does he meet Melania Trump?
Now, they were confronted about the fact that Kelsier and Hayden were sniping their own tokens, and Ben said, well, he had no idea. He's shocked by it. This clip is a little long, but it's worth it.
Sorry, but like
So, actually, no. Please tell me, because actually I don't know this.
like I'm sitting down and I'm seeing, and everyone's got their phone. Everyone knows the contract address. Like Gideon, Hayden, Dr. Tom. Everyone's sitting at the table, and they're all with their phones. They all have snipe bots ready. They all have all the CA.
They're all sniping it. It's them sniping.
But Ben, it's not only that. There is even. I'm 100% sure that it's also Jake involved. Everyone's involved. I'm sure the influencers involved. Look.
Me. Oh my god.
And
all right,
like,
sailor, calm down.
there are people that bypass them, like do it faster than them, and it's like, look, the whole thing just looks rotten to the very core.
Yeah, I really don't know if this guy is genuinely reacting or this is like some kind of Oscar award-winning performance. Like, what? No way. I had no idea. The people I've been handing business to have been sniping our own tokens. No idea. Meanwhile, I asked Hayden directly if Ben Chow would have known these snipes were happening. He responded, quote, "I would say he wouldn't have been surprised, but he wouldn't have been involved." Now, that's interesting, and if it's true, it would mean that Ben's shocked reaction to this project sniping itself would be a little hard to believe. Meanwhile, by the way, Hayden Davis also doesn't really take credit for some of this. He implies that the Melania team itself was part of the reason they decided to snipe the coin.
Were you part of the Melania launch, and was that sniped as well?
I mean, look, I think that I mean, I told you like beforehand, before this started. I'm happy to share the truth, but I mean, you're asking a question that's it's just, I mean, I'll answer, but it's factually going to put me into a lot of danger.
What?
Which is fine. I'll answer. I was part of it. I think the team did want to snipe it because of how big the snipe was on Trump's.
So let me get this straight. Bin Chao has no idea. It wasn't Hayden's idea. Can the real sniper please stand up? All of these people just deny. Either way, though, Bin Chao agreed that the Libra situation in particular was so bad that he would have to step down from the company, regardless of whether he knew, because he called it SBF level, as in Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX.
This
He's
is
the
like
goat.
200. This is FTX type of.
Fucking hell, man. I feel sick. I feel so sick, man. Holy shit.
It seems like this dude's acting, bro. This dude is going for the Oscar. Cinema.
This is SBF level, man. I feel so sick. Because I gave him Melania. I didn't know he was a rugger.
Dude, what are we fucking talking about? I swear to God, nobody's making Melania coin for the fucking for the value of it. Everyone knows. Everyone involved is a rugger. Even everyone buying it knows they're gonna try to get in early and rug everyone else. Do you know what I'm saying? Every single person involved. It's just different levels of scammer.
I feel so sick.
Dude, I feel so sick. I feel so fucking sick. I really believed in Melania coin. I thought it was gonna change the world, man. This is just fucking tears me up to know people just use it to get rich, when actually I thought it could really be a chance for change. What are we fucking talking about?
I f***ed up because I enabled a guy I should not have enabled.
Fuck my Chungus life, dude. Chungus coin coming soon.
I'm gonna have to step down.
You know, I do have to agree with Bin Chao here. This is starting to make me feel sick too. Not because my platform enabled millions of dollars to be, quote, max extracted from retail, but because most people buying these coins have no idea how corrupt these launches are. With manipulative market making, sniping insiders selling, the deck is just totally stacked against you as a regular person. But don't take my word for it. Hayden, the guy we've been talking to, who literally runs these things, agrees.
It is an insider's game. This is an unregulated casino. Like, if you're a retail trader thinking you're going to go make millions.
Yeah, I mean, crypto at this point is just a mass extraction of wealth from mostly younger, desperate men. Straight up. It's not all men, it's not all young, but they're all desperate. It's all people that are looking for a chance at easy money based on stories and FOMO. And this whole system has been designed to exploit that, to just fucking mass take a little or a medium amount from a lot of people so that a few people can get really rich and a few lucky regular traders can get kind of rich.
Well, honestly, I do appreciate his honesty. It's an insider's game, and as the saying goes, it's a big club, and you're not in it.
Why can't they earn an honest buck like the humble Twitch streamer? Listen, I don't think Twitch streaming is quite the Marines or whatever, but I hope you're not equating crypto rug pulling as a profession to making content people watch and running ads on it. I hope you're not trying to say it's the same fucking thing. I don't even run ads on it because of Dan fucking Clancy. Dan Clancy takes my ads to the funnest fucking mega city.
There was one person so far who has been refunded their losses in this whole debacle. Dave Portnoy. Dave was going to do an insider deal with Libra token for free tokens where he tweeted about the coin. That deal was canceled though because Hayden told him basically not to tell anyone about the free coins, and Dave disagreed with that. But Dave did put $5 million of his own dollars in the coin in the hopes of obviously making money like everyone else. But when the coin crashed, he lost almost everything. Behind the scenes though, Dave got bailed out. Hayden Davis gave him his money back, which Dave has admitted publicly. So I guess, you know, for the big traders who are celebrities, they get their money back, roughly $5 million back, because I guess they're real victims. But refunding everyone who lost money, that's an insane idea.
Can't do it.
Whether I refund people, they're still going to be pissed, right? Refund people on a meme coin, which sounds insane. Or I inject back people are going to be mad either way.
Refund people on a meme coin sounds insane. It's crazy. What are we talking about? Listen, the money's in my account. It's in theirs. Who knows? I can't.
Instead, the current plan is to once again dump the money back in the chart, which will disproportionately benefit insiders who know the timing. And what about Javier Milei? Can't forget about him. The president of Argentina is currently facing charges of fraud from the opposition party and threats of impeachment. Today, Milei finally addressed the Libra token and said the following.
Falso, yo difundí.
I broadcasted it, I didn't recommend it, I didn't promote it. The reality is, if you go to the casino and lose money, what is the claim? It is about 5,000 people. And surely the chance that they are Argentinians is very remote.
Argentinos es muy, muy remota.
Well, there you go. Pretty much your standard denial. I didn't do it. And if I did, they deserved it. And if they didn't deserve it, well, they weren't Argentinian anyways. One thing I will be clear about, though, is that all of the insiders I've spoken to so far claim that Milei himself made no money from this project. It was these other people who had access that were selling access to him. Whether you believe that is another matter entirely. But what is abundantly clear
Does he have a wallet
is that this was a massive failure for Argentina as a whole. It's an embarrassing situation where Milei allowed a
So why? Well, I think what happened here, and this is not 100% certain, but I think what happened from my reading on it, and I guess following this video, is that Milei kind of got tricked. It's not a good look either way. And what he's doing now is he's attempting to double down. I think Milei got approached by someone at Argentinian Tech Conference to promote this thing for Argentinian small businesses. Not knowing crypto that well and not knowing how much it could blow up in his face, he did it. And then when it blew up in his face, it became an opportunity for political rival, because it's hugely embarrassing and a terrible thing to do. Like promoting a crypto rug pull, whether or not you personally profited, is fucking horrendous for a president to do. So he, I think, is doing, instead of the right thing, which is admitting his culpability in it, admitting the problem with it, he's like afraid to apologize because it'll be leaped on by people who want to impeach him. So he's trying to deny, blame the victim. That's how I think this is going down. I don't think he personally profited from it, just from everything I read and from what I saw in the wallets and from what I think his understanding of crypto is. But what I do think is he's letting politics influence his ability to just do the right thing, and instead is acting shitty, I think. Just acting shitty. I think the profit he made is from the meeting. For me, it's a real fucking loss of credibility. The fact that you let your reputation be put on the line for a fucking meme coin, that you didn't think this through before doing it. At worst, it's like openly scamming, but even at best, it's like a sign of real stupidity or naivete. So I'm not super happy with it. It didn't hurt Trump's rep though. Listen, I know that there's obviously people who are diehard one way or another, especially in American politics. That always exists. But I know for a fact, I know, maybe it's not massive numbers, but I know there's people. I listen to these people who are Trump supporters who are deeply disappointed in Trump coin, because Trump coin is just not something that any president should do. There's no reason for it. Ludwig would be a great example. Ludwig, diehard Trump supporter who like is a little disappointed because he lost 50% of his investment. There's not enough numbers for it to matter. It's not really consequences. Again, I disagree with that. I think many people, especially in this chat, are just so, they act like history doesn't exist and people have never changed their mind on anything. And that reality has never changed people's minds, and people have never, maybe this particular thing, Trump coin, didn't change enough people's minds to do anything, but it changed some people's minds. Like there's people that work at government departments that have now been laid off by Doge who are now rethinking their choice. And then there's going to be possibly a recession. That's going to be, you know what I'm saying? This stuff all adds up and then things change. It's not crazy because it's happened a million times in history. And then people act like it's never going to happen and that no one will ever change their mind about anything. It's just like, that's not true.
One last update on Trump coin. Back in May, Trump followed through on his promise to host a special dinner for the top holders. 220 people showed up, and the top 4 holders each got a custom $100,000 Trump watch. That announcement caused a brief spike in the coin's value, but since then, it's gone back down to new lows.
In the aftermath, there are possible impeachments, people possibly stepping down from their company, and millions of dollars in damages. And that is the story of the Argentinian meme coin disaster.
Bin Chao resigned. There was no financial inappropriateness. Interesting. Good video by CoffeeZilla yet again. It's good to have someone in the crypto space who can break it down like this. It's such a den of thieves and fraud.